Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. If you're listening to the sound of my voice, then you tuned in to another episode of Marking Out Amongst Friends, the podcast. You know me, it's your boy Jay Rennie in the building. All right. And if I'm in here, you know I'm never in here alone. All right. In the building with me, I got returning to the Marking Out Amongst Friends podcast cast. You know, he's everywhere. You ain't never there. He gets into places you can't. He goes places you go. He's a very important person. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. VIP in the building.
What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing tonight? Time to talk about some wrestling.
Talk about the squared sucker. Talk about my son, Cody and Dustin, and then AEW.
Son of a plumber.
The American Dream. But tonight, it's just going to be me and Mr. VIP rocking it out tonight. Prayers out there to Lady Great One. She's not going to be on the show tonight. She's recovering. She's having a couple of body ailments. So we let her take the night off and said we run the show tonight. So, fellas, we running things tonight, all right? Anyway, tonight
all right.
We're going to recap NXT TakeOver 25. Huge event. Definitely lived up to the hype as NXT always does. Also, we're just going to give you a couple of predictions for WWE Super Showdown that's going to be in Saudi Arabia tomorrow. A lot of matches to go through there. So there's definitely a lot to talk about. But before we get into any of that, you know what it's time to do. It's time to hit my damn music.
He looks like a fan.
Yeah. Marking out.
He was marking out, man.
450 off the top with the topics. Leader of the new school, ain't no way to stop us. Mark it out, screaming loud, tell me who you with. Competition is none, cause we lunatics. Walk with me down these roads if you're all in. I love the feeling, baby, time to go to work again. Come together like a fist and we do it proud. Light it up and burn it down, cause we marking out.
He was marking out, man.
All right, man. First of all, Mr. VIP, it's been a minute. How does it feel to be back on the lounge in the Marking Out Amongst Friends podcast Thursday and whatnot?
Man, it feels good. Been a long time. Shouldn't have left you.
Without a dope beat.
But it's good to be back.
Welcome back. Always good to have you on the show. Definitely, we always know that we're in for a lot of knowledge. And a little bit of rambling on too, but we all do that as well. So let's take a look here. NXT TakeOver 25. Did you get a chance to watch it this last weekend?
Oh, definitely. You know, that's one of our premier events. You have to watch NXT.
You know, I mean, there's a lot of times I'm not going to sit here and act like I've caught every consecutive NXT. There's been a couple that I might have only caught, a few matches here and there. But I definitely had to watch TakeOver 25, just the promos that they had building the event up, showing everything that's happened on NXT since the start. It's just the event you can't, like you said, you can't miss this one. You can't miss this one. Of course, I had to go back after the show and catch two of the matches, probably the two matches that I wanted to see more than anything. But I still was able to catch all of the show by the end of the weekend. Of course, like I said before we dropped the music, it's definitely one of those shows that were great. It lived up to the hype as NXT always does. Why do you think NXT is always so successful?
Man, I think it's the desire to be better. It's the new age thinking. You got to give it up to Triple H. It's got to be the new age thinking. He sees what's going on in the world, and he's like, I'm gonna let them do what they can do. I might add a little extra spice to them. I might add some better promos. I might give them some more character. But I'm gonna let them get in the ring and let them do what I know they can do. Prove to the world that they're the best. So I think it's just he's got his post on the world today, and gets them to do their best. Um, and then, like I said, it's most of the time it's only like 5 matches, 5 or 6 matches. So it ain't too many. Not a long show, but you get the best of the best. Um, I think a lot of times the NXT stars get a little more rest since they tape a lot of shows at one time and then get to take a little time before they actually do this pay per view. So all their stories are usually built. The storylines are, built, and everybody's been invested in them. And then when the pay per view comes, it's time for the payoff.
Yeah, I think that NXT definitely does a great job of maximizing everything that they have to offer and protecting it. Um, and when I say the word protect, a lot of people think it's a negative thing, like because we are so used to everybody putting on live shows. They put on live pay-per-views. WWE does live weekly shows for SmackDown and Raw. 205 Live is live every week. Is live in the name. So NXT is the one product that's pre-taped. It's only an hour long. It never runs on network television, but yet it's the best product that they have because of so much effort that they put into preserving it. Now,
And one thing when they do have like the shows, like the weekly shows, you don't see the same person constantly. So it's not like every NXT you see Velveteen Dream. You may see him come out Wednesday, and you might not see him for like 2 or 3 weeks. So it's not like you just get tired of seeing these people. They don't have anybody that they show all the time. So it'll be like next week this match is coming, or they always build into something else. Next week, Bianca Belair and Mia Yim are fighting next week, and you're like, oh shoot! So I have something to look forward to instead of somebody starts something tonight, and then they're gonna fight tonight, and then they're gonna fight the next week. So you have more to look forward to, and you're not getting each person showed to you every single show.
yeah, I 100% agree with everything that you just said there. And like I said, it's a protected environment, and I think that's something that we're so used to seeing everything so live all the time that it's rare that we get to see something that's protected. It's rare that we get to see a pre-tape show. When you have a pre-tape show, you get to come up with predetermined outcomes, and you can tape the same match twice just in case it leaks on what happens on one match. You can tape another one and put that out there, and now everybody's like, oh, well, we thought this was going to happen. Nope. This is what happened. So, I mean, I think they do
Yeah.
everything perfectly. Like you said, 5 matches every pay-per-view, so we're going to give you 5 quality matches every pay-per-view event instead of giving you 8 to 10 subpar matches where you might get 2 really good matches, a couple of throwaway matches, and a match you probably didn't even want to see. So I mean, it's
Yeah.
they do everything perfect and to the T. Like you said, every NXT weekly show, you get to see showcases of people who might not even be on NXT programming every week. You get to see wrestlers. You get to see people like Kona Reeves. You get to see people like Keith Lee or Mia Yim or Bianca Belair. And, those are just the names because I'm looking at the card from TakeOver 25, and those are from the dark match. But those are names that you get to see on weekly shows that you may not get to see on every single TakeOver.
And just think of this. Uh, just think of who won the tag team titles, and they've never been on any of the takeovers
Ever. Ever.
ever.
Ever.
So
They
that really shows you how they haven't been on a takeover yet, and how much the crowd has gotten behind them. And now when they're finally on takeover, is huge. So it's not like you've seen them every single takeover. Either like they lose each takeover and then this is going to be special. No, they've never even been on a takeover. So you have some special things like that. Keith Lee has been there. He's been doing his thing. He's not even been on uh, been on Takeover yet. So you got so many people that has never been on the pay-per-view, um, and so it's always something, a surprise. It's always something bigger. It's always something, who knows who's going to come out next? Who knows who's going to be the next person going to fight at next Takeover?
Now,
So it's just,
now
go ahead.
one negative thing that I will say, and it's not really a negative, but because it, just to go back to the whole protected comment that I made, it one of the things that makes that whole protected environment really successful is that it's a formula. It's they're constantly bringing in talent, pumping in talent, and pushing out talent to the main roster. So a lot of people who, make the comments that they say that they don't want to see certain people go to the main roster because Vince might ruin them or they're not going to be, this, that, and the third. A lot of people fail to realize that 80 to 90% of the main roster now are former NXT stars.
Yeah.
Like, you got Orton and, the guys that are throwback Orton, your Dolphs, people like
Kofi.
that. Yeah, your Kofis, but pretty much everybody else started in NXT. New Day is successful on the main roster, but people forget that Big E was an NXT champion. Big E was the second NXT champion. He beat Seth Rollins for the title. You know what I'm saying? So NXT is a completely different product. You're going to have to expect for people to be different. But it's like the one negative thing that I wanted to say is, like, when you go to the main roster and everything is live, it separates the people who are truly ready from the people who were who shined because they were put in the spotlight in NXT. And like I said, it's a factory. So the guy that you see right now, like you said, the Street Profits have never been on a takeover. You'll probably see them on a whole lot of takeovers now going forward until they go to the main roster. But then at the same time, you'll see another tag team that they bring in that they may only have wrestle maybe one or two NXTs a month, or if that. So it's always going to be a gradual build to whoever they bring in, unless it's a big indie name. Once they gradually build them, they even go to the NXT mid card, which their title divisions only focus on 2 to 3 people at one time. Like, not even just the title. The mid card division in NXT focuses on maybe 2 to 3 people. The tag team division focuses on maybe 2 or 3 tag teams. The main event picture focuses on 2 or 3 people. So it's like we don't get overrun, like you said, with the same matches over and over and over again. It's like, all right, we got a takeover coming up. This is what we know we have for mid card. This is what we have for the main event picture. This is the feud that we're going to build around. And then after the takeover is done, depending on how well the match went, you could be a Gargano and Tommaso champion. People want you to fight forever, and you can book that at every takeover. Or you could be another. You can have another match that would be really, really good, like the Dream versus Aleister Black, and they might run it back a couple of times. And then you might have a match that was really good, like Bianca Belair and Shayna Baszler, but then it's like, all right, that match is really good, but let's move on and see what else that we can add to this mix,
Yeah.
So
but the story always fits to, if they do another match, the story always fits to why they're doing it again.
Absolutely.
Like the Gargano and Ciampa. How many times did they fight? But the storyline always made you want to see it again. Mm-hmm. It wasn't just, oh, he's mad at him, and they just keep attacking each other. There was a story that build. And so everybody was like, I don't care if we see it again. I'm still interested in what's going on. I still want to see it. So that's one thing that they do. They keep the storyline so interesting that you want to see them. Even if they do a rematch, I still got to see what happened. I still want to see it. And then throughout the takeovers, you don't see that person come out every time to call that person out. So even if they are going to take over, you still don't see that person every single week. So it makes you, I can't wait to see them. Like Velveteen Dream to come out maybe 2 weeks from now. You're like, man, I can't wait. All of a sudden, next week, Velveteen Dream, like, oh, good. I haven't seen him in a while. I can't wait to see what he does.
It's a good way to keep you invested. And I'm gonna throw
Yeah.
one more question out there before I jump into the matches from the card and we give a recap and everything. Dean Ambrose made a comment. Everybody has been talking about Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley. He made a comment about the WWE creative process. He made countless comments about the writers. One comment that he made that stuck out to me. There's something that you and I have kind of said before. He said that there should not be writers in wrestling. He said that nobody knows a wrestler's character better than the wrestler themselves, and there literally shouldn't be writers, to write promos for people. Do you agree or disagree?
It's to a point. It really depends on who the person is.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have it where, like I said, like Dean Ambrose, he's wrestled on the indies. He's built a career on his talking and stuff. So he knows how to do it. CM Punk, he built a career on his talking. So he knows how to do it. Just like back in the day, Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, all of them built their careers on talking. So they don't need anybody to help them.
Mm-hmm.
But Bobby Lashley, he ain't built a career on his talking. So he may need something. He may need some help or some points or something. He may need more help. I don't think everybody in the back needs to be scripted 100%. No. Some people, like he said, some people can just feel it. But there are others who may not be able to just go out there and feel it and come up with stuff. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. Some people need it, some people don't. And I think what they started doing is relying on, well, everybody needs it. And everybody does it. What made Stone Cold and them amazing, what made Ric Flair amazing, what made Piper amazing is that they felt it.
Mm-hmm.
They felt their character. And one other thing, they came up with their characters. So some people feel their character because they came up with it. They know how that person thinks. They can get it in their mind. Sometimes WF will give somebody a character, and that wrestler doesn't get that character. Mm-hmm. So they're trying to act out a character that somebody else gave them, and they're not feeling it. So yeah, they need to be scripted. Bray Wyatt was given his character, but he felt it. He was able to embody what that character was.
Mm-hmm. Same thing for the Velveteen Dream. A lot of people tend to forget Patrick Clark. That's who he was just his regular self, Patrick Clark, before the Velveteen Dream gimmick. When he was given that gimmick, a lot of us looked at it like, oh, God, this is going to be a stupid-ass gimmick. And then he felt, like you said, he embodied the character, and now it's like, whoa.
He became the Velveteen Dream. He wasn't, like, if you see him now, it's not Patrick Clark playing Velveteen Dream. It is Velveteen Dream. When he walks out there, it's him. So you feel it's him. He's not playing a character. He feels it. So it makes it you makes it more realistic. It makes you feel what he said. So no, he shouldn't be scripted. You may give him, like they say, bullet points. Well, talk about this, talk about this, talk about this. Go. But I think what they started doing is relying on having to script everybody's stuff out. Mm-hmm. And then, like you said, they don't get. Sometimes the writer doesn't get the person. Mm-hmm. Like the whole thing with Roman Reigns. Everybody was like, he can't talk. And whatever he did, I heard that Dean Ambrose said the whole thing about the sucker and succotash and stuff. I'm like, y'all know they're writing his stuff. I'm like, he's not the one who's going to come out there and cut this 40-minute promo. Just let him come out there. I was like, he's laid back, he's smooth, he's cool. Let him come out there and say a couple of words, and it'd be like, like say him and John Cena. He can't go back and forth with Cena. Cena feels his character. Cena go out there saying all that stuff. Roman should have said, all right, I got you. Just know this. At whatever pay-per-view we're fighting at, I'm going to beat that ass. Believe that. And that's all he has to say. He can't sit there and go back and forth with him because that's not his personality. He's just laid back and like, you can say all that shit you want. I'm gonna whoop your ass. Believe that. That's all he needs to say. But trying to get him to cut a 40-minute promo, cut a 20-minute promo, try to go back and forth with somebody who can talk their ass off. No, it doesn't go. So yeah, they need to if that person to be like, okay, when they bring somebody up, show me that you can talk. If you can go out there and show me that you can cut the promos and you can talk without needing us to write stuff for you, then we'll let you go. If we feel that you need help, we will help. Like they said, New Day, all of the stuff New Day does, they do it themselves because they got the confidence of Vince and everybody that, okay, they don't need help. So everything they were saying and everything they've been saying for the past couple of years, they're saying it off their head, off the top of their head. And you see how that has made them blow up so much because everybody can feel that they're being themselves. So it just needs to be, I'm gonna let some people talk and some people I'm gonna have to help them with it. It doesn't need to be, I'm gonna write everybody's speech, everything, and then when Ric Flair comes in there, all right, this is exactly what you're gonna say. I've been doing this for years. I know what the hell I'm gonna say. I'm gonna feel the crowd. No, we want you to say this. Then it doesn't come off as being authentic, as being that person. You don't know what Ric Flair did. You don't know about the limousine ride. You don't know what he did last night and all this stuff. So, and in that aspect, there needs to be some writers, but not everybody needs to be written for.
Yeah, and I 100% agree. And that's the problem with being, on this show with you guys. I've been around y'all for so much that we agree on everything. We all think alike.
Yeah.
Because this is my exact retort to that. A lot of people say that, oh, WWE's main roster is going to ruin this guy and that guy and the third. Like, their creative process is in place for a reason. Because you have guys that come up like Lance Storm. You got guys that come out like Bobby Lashley. You got guys that come out like Roman Reigns. You got guys that come out, like even Seth Rollins is not a great talker. Like Seth Rollins is amazing in the ring. If Seth Rollins could only make a living on the mic, like if his God forbid anything happens to his wrestling ability, because if he could not wrestle as of tomorrow, Seth Rollins' career would be over. Nobody's gonna pay money to see him come talk. We're gonna go look at his old matches, and we're gonna think about what could have been, and we'll probably gas him up to be one of the greatest of all time just because we saw what potential he had. But nobody's going to want him in a suit and tie on the commentary table or managing anybody coming to the ring or anything. Nobody cares to see Seth Rollins talk. And that's the thing. What he has is he has a catchphrase that caught on with the whole burning down, and he's got a lot of monikers that build to his character. Seth freaking Rollins, Mr. Monday Night Rollins. All of that fits his character, but he doesn't have to put it into words. It's just that let me throw this Seth freaking Rollins shirt out there. People are gonna buy it up because it's Seth freaking Rollins. Even Cesaro, who's gotten a lot better on the mic than what he was, is still not somebody I'm gonna want to pay to see him talk. If Cesaro's wrestling ability goes away tomorrow, God forbid it, once again, nobody's gonna care. At this point, I don't want to hear him talk.
Yeah, he's not going to be the one to come out there and start cutting promo. And you be like, yeah.
But
see that's
if the Miz loses his ability to wrestle right now, the Miz can
still he'd be good.
He'll still work in the WWE for 20 more years because he's that damn good on the mic.
And like you said, the Miz. What the hell made Miz blow up? That doggone promo he did on Daniel Bryan. Mm-hmm. It wasn't some match that he blew everybody away. It was the doggone that promo that when he was talking and his eyes were turning red and he was getting like he was legitimately pissed off, you felt Miz. You felt it. You were like, oh shit. That's what got everybody like, oh my God, this dude is amazing. Just that one promo. It wasn't a match. He's done a whole bunch of matches. He's done, yes, he's gotten better to ring now, but forget all of that. That one promo made everybody like, holy shit, this guy's raw as hell. From that one promo. But like I said, if there's a lot of people that are really good that still can't talk, but for whatever reason they have something that people are still drawn to. Like I said, Seth is not the best talker. It's like Bret Hart. Bret wasn't the best talker, and legitimately Shawn Michaels wasn't the best talker. But they had something about them that made people, love them. But it's just it's just got to be, try to let some people come up and do their own thing. And if they're not doing it, then help them, then give them bullet points, then, try to do something, but don't sit there and just, okay, everybody needs a crutch. Everybody has to be scripted, because that's not the people that blow up are never the ones who don't feel their character or who everything is written for them. And you just don't like what everybody says. We don't get Roman Reigns because you wrote stuff for him and you didn't get to see, you don't feel him. You feel the character that they wrote for him. So when he talks, you're like, I don't see that as being what he would actually say. So that kind of pushes you away from him, because, when he's saying stuff, you're like, I don't feel like he's being genuine. I don't feel like that's really what he would say. And it's making people like when Braun Strowman talks, the whole country thing and all the shit he says, you can feel that would be him. You see his Instagram, you see he's a country boy, you see him shooting guns and fishing, all this stuff. And he talks with a country accent and he talks about, you're going to get these hands and all this stuff. I can see that being really him. If I see him out somewhere, I could see him, if he about to get in a fight, I could see him saying, you're going to get these hands. So you feel it. I'm like, okay, that's him. That's really him. But a lot of times it doesn't feel like it's that person, so they can't get connected with him because I don't feel that they're being genuine.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say something controversial right quick before I go into these matches. I know we've been on about 30 minutes, and we can go on and talk about creative all night, but we got to get these matches out of the way too. But it's interesting you made the Shawn Michaels comment. Now, as great as Shawn Michaels is one of the greatest entertainers to ever touch, WWE ring. I think that what really put Shawn Michaels' career over the top was Triple H and D-Generation X.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels, like you said, was not the best talker in the world. He was cocky, but when he became part of D-Generation X and he got to do, all of those promos with Triple H, and they just got to be pretty much dicks and assholes on the air, that's what took his characters to a whole different level.
When he started being who he was in the background in the backstage area, then he felt more comfortable.
Yeah, he didn't have to be he didn't have to be a pretty boy. He got to be a dick that liked to play practical jokes and do stuff and talk crap about people. Like the Hulk Hogan promo that he did, the whole skit that he did as Larry King and Hulk Hogan, that was classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah.
But the Heartbreak Kid would have never given you that.
You could see him in the back picking with somebody and doing that promo or cutting up and joking around about somebody in the back and saying some shit like that just to piss somebody off.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But yeah, that's what made him. That's what made him. He was good, but when he started doing that stuff, then you're like, oh shit, I feel this is him. I feel this is more him than what we've been seeing. Yeah, it was Pretty Boy. It was like him playing a character, but yeah, he was great in the ring, but on the mic, it didn't feel like, okay, yeah, he's comfortable now. He's acting a fool. He's doing silly stuff. He's doing all this groin pointing and all this stuff. Same thing with Kevin Nash and them. When he was Diesel and stuff, he was a raw character and stuff. But when you saw him go into NWO And when he get the mic and he hold the mic the way, hold the mic in his hand and he's just like cool and chilling and saying shit, that feels more like when you see Nash, he's just chill. He's like, just sitting there chilling and cool, and he's gonna say something. He's not gonna be, all mad and all this stuff. He's like, you know what? That seems more like it would be what he would actually be like if you really met him.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. So let's jump into this match because, I mean, in some of these matches, and give us some recaps and what we thought of some of these matches here. First and foremost, the Matt Riddle versus Roderick Strong. Oh my God! First of all, this pay-per-view, every match was amazing, but Matt Riddle is the freaking future right now. We all know that Roderick Strong is great. We've seen what Roderick Strong can do. We've seen him in countless, NXT heavyweight championship matches. We've seen him in countless, main event caliber matches as a single star, even before he joined the Undisputed
NXT.
Era. Even before he joined NXT too, but especially before he joined the Undisputed Era. So we knew he was great. But Matt Riddle, a mixed martial artist. This is not a guy that you expect to just come in and just be this beastly right away. Like his transitions, his moveset. He's got. I don't think I've ever seen somebody to come into wrestling and to have that many moves, like that much in his arsenal this early in his career. Now I know that NXT is not his first rodeo when it comes to wrestling. He was making a name for himself in the independent scene before he got to NXT. But just in general, for somebody not to be, 10, 15, 20 years deep of training before they make it to the main roster, like he's an amazing prospect. And this match was just, it was hard hitting strikes. It was just moves being hit out anywhere. It had the spots that you love and want to see, and it had all the near falls that you could ask for. I personally think that of the matches that I watched from this NXT pay-per-view, this is my favorite match. I'm not going to say this is the best match of the night or the best match in NXT history, but that was my favorite match of the matches that I watched at the pay-per-view.
Like you said, one thing I had said a while ago, I can't remember who I was talking to. We was talking in our group, and everybody was like, man, they didn't know about this Matt Riddle. I'm like, I'm telling y'all, this dude is amazing. Everybody's like, no, he's okay. He ain't going to be good. I was like, I'm telling you, this dude is amazing. And now people are seeing it. I was like, I'm trying to tell y'all, I liked him. Like I had heard of like Keith Lee, and I heard of Matt Riddle, and I heard they were bringing him in. So I was like, let me look online and see who he is. And I looked online and saw a couple of his matches or whatever. I was like, okay. And then when he came, I was like, okay, well, number one, when you see him, he's wrestling without shoes on. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay. And then he's got then he's wrestling with he comes out there with the flip flops. I'm like, okay, that's two things that's different. Okay. He comes out there and he's like doing the whole character like Zack Ryder. I'm like, because when I first heard about him, I was like, it's gonna be like another Zack Ryder character. I'm like, I don't want to see that. But then I heard about the MMA stuff, and then I seen him and the striking and everything, and I was like, holy shit, this is a badass dude. And like you said, he's so different. He catches on so fast. I mean, the one thing that every time I'm like, if you look closely, when he kicks somebody, he kicks them. He doesn't slap his leg, and you can hear how loud he kicks. And I'm like, do y'all understand that he's not hitting his leg at all? He's just straight kicking them and still making the same sound. This dude coming from MMA, just like Kurt Angle, he's coming from another sport that he was doing well in. This dude is doing high flying moves. Every match he's doing some new move that he hasn't done before. He's just so unique and so different and then his character is so cool, laid back and calm that you're like, okay, but you do one thing, it pisses him off. he's just something that's he's something different. It's kind of like RVD when you first seen him. You know, it was so much stuff about him that was like completely different from any other person you had seen. That's how Matt Riddle is.
And
He's just
that's
we,
exactly what I told somebody the other day. I said, I wish that RVD was still in great wrestling shape. Because if
yes,
RVD was
yes,
still in great wrestling shape, that's the match that I would want to see. Bring him back for one night, one takeover, and have him and Matt Riddle have a match. Big money all over that match.
yes. Yeah, that like when I first seen him and when I started knowing a little bit more about him, I was like, this dude is just like RVD. He's got the cool demeanor, but then he's got just the raw ass moves, and he's just like I said, he's money. You know, he's somebody that you can build a lot of shit on. He's legit. You know, he's a legit guy who can he's got all of the attributes that would you want to make him a star. And it's just gonna be, you know, he's just starting off in NXT. Look at how he's doing, going on a match with Roderick Strong. He's going toe to toe with him, and it's not. It's just like, damn, this dude is keeping up with him. The match with Team Dream, I'm like, damn, he's keeping up with him. So I'm seeing just big things from him. I'm every time he comes on, you know how there's certain people that when you see them walk out, you're excited to see that person wrestle. He's one of the people like every time like hell yeah, Matt Riddle's coming out. I can't wait to see this match. I can't wait to see what he does. I'm actually excited to see this guy come out. He's got a barring injury and everything. He's got a bright future.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Once again, my favorite match of the night. Next match, this is the one I had to watch the next day, and this was the match that I was looking forward to the most of all of the matches. So the Street Profits finally get the gold. New NXT Tag Team Champions. Once again, their first takeover. They defeated Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch, the Undisputed Era, and the Forgotten Sons, all in one match, in one ladder match to win these titles. Do you think where do you think that they go from here as far as the build? Who is going to be the ones that challenge the Street Profits, and how well do you think they're going to be able to carry segments? Because me personally, I think, and I think pretty much anybody who's watched them wrestle says the same thing. Montez Ford has singles star written all over him. He's not one of those guys that I say he's got potential. He can be
Yeah.
a decent, singles guy in the future. He could be middle of the pack. No, Montez Ford has star quality written all over him.
Yeah, yeah.
But the Street
Yeah.
Profits as a tag team also have so much charisma that it's like I don't want to see him leave the Street Profits either though. So it's like I'm always conflicted with this, but I'm definitely happy that they got the dub, man, and he got the spotlight on him finally, and Montez shined in
Yeah.
that match. Montez showed his whole ass in that match. No disrespect to
Yeah.
Angelo Dawkins, I like that. I like you too, Angelo. You know you're pretty dope too in your own way. But Montez, I'm always going to be impressed by Montez Ford. And I feel like it's only a matter of time before he becomes a single star. Whether they do it in NXT or whether they do it on the main roster, he's got star quality written all over him.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, the match was amazing. One thing I like about the match that everybody got to shine. Everybody got to show something in the match. Especially for most of them, as far as we know, like Street Profits and I don't know about the Forgotten Sons. That could probably be their first ladder match. Um, it was amazing. They did an incredible job, in a match there, at a pay per view, and in a match they may have never even been in. Um, I love the whole match. I love the everything about it. I love when Gunner came out and he got his shine, and then everybody had to jump him. Um, the Street Profits. I mean, I gotta say it. Angelo Dawkins showed me something. He jumped off the top rope and landed on everybody. I was like, okay, he's showing a little something. But yeah, Montez is just a league of his own. He's so he's so athletic, he's so charismatic. Um, like you said, my whole thing with them is if they split them two up, Angelo Dawkins is done. Period. That's my only thing. I don't want them to split them up because I'm like, if they split them up, that's it for Dawkins. He's been there a long time. He's done he's had a couple of other tag team partners, but he tried it singles. He was never really, you know, that well in any of the matches before. But now, with Montez has brought uh, Dawkins' character out. He's made his charisma go up just from being in the team with him.
Mm-hmm.
But without Montez, Dawkins will not survive. He's too athletic and too charismatic to by himself in the team. So Dawkins had better hold on to him. They need to keep them together because as soon as they split them up, you're not gonna see Dawkins no more.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I keep saying like I'm torn because I don't really want the Street Profits to break up because I know that's the end of Angelo Dawkins. If they would have broke
Yeah,
up, but big shout out to you guys for winning gold. I hope you guys hold on to that goal for a while, and I hope they keep you guys together going into the main roster. Next match on the card. A lot of people say that this was the match that they were looking forward to the most. I said last week on the prediction show that this is going to be the match of the night. Um, Tyler Breeze makes his return to NXT Takeover, but is defeated by the current North American champion Velveteen Dream. Um, we talk
yes,
we talk a lot about Velveteen Dream's character, um, but Tyler Breeze had the original overly flamboyant character in NXT, and it was kind of like seeing the first generation NXT versus second generation NXT in this match, and it made a different
yeah,
dynamic, to it. One thing that I noticed about this match though is Tyler Breeze cut off all of his hair, and he came
yeah,
to the ring doing the whole selfie thing, but you didn't see him wearing the bright colors, none of the fur boots, none of that. Just kind of just straight black tights and black boots, with shorter hair, less blonde. I wonder if does that mean he's in line for a gimmick change, or do you think that Tyler Breeze is on the way out of the door?
I don't know because when he came out on NXT, the regular show when he first stood toe to toe with Velveteen, he cut his hair. He cut his hair a little ways back, but he had like a green and blue fur coat, and he had the furry boots on or whatever. I just think it was just the pay per view that he didn't wear. He didn't wear the all of that stuff. I don't know if he's on his way out. I think he may be just coming back to NXT to help some of the younger stars and to get his name back out there.
Mm-hmm.
Because I swear that was his best match of his whole career. Uh, by far, that showed that how good he really is and how he's a lot of people probably forgot that how he's not just a comedy act. This guy can really wrestle. He can really go. And that one match just reminded everybody, oh my God, this dude is amazing. He is really, really good in the ring. Um, so yeah, he did an amazing job. It was great to see him back. It was great to see him, actually wrestling like he can.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, he's trained by Lance Storm, so he can go. And like you said, to see the past and the present or the future go at it, I know it was probably special for both of them because I know it was probably Tyler Breeze who was like, man, I want to go back down there. Let me fight the Velveteen Dream because I know he probably saw a lot of himself in him, and he was like, I want to help him. And the whole selfie thing at the end, I'm like, man, that's just it was special for them to do something like that. I'm like, that's really cool. Um, so yeah, it was really good to see him come back, show what he can do, and there's not enough to say about the Velveteen Dream. Um, but I mean, we got to see again even more character. I mean, when he grabbed the phone and he was like, he was gonna take a selfie. He said, "I'm gonna take a selfie with the champ," and he held the belt up and held him and said, "Smile." I said, "Smile." um, I was like, "Oh my god, that shit was so funny." But they worked well together. They really put on an amazing match and showed and it highlighted both of them. And I'm gonna say something I was telling Lady Great One. There's one thing about Velveteen Dream that people don't realize. If you watch his matches, he sells his ass off for his opponent.
Every
Like when
match.
he get every match, he whatever you do to him, it looked like you just beat like you punch him, it'll look like you beat the hell out of him, like you knocked his teeth out. He sells, and I know that for a lot of wrestlers, they probably really want to go against him because he makes everybody look so amazing. It's not just what you do and how many amazing moves you can do, but the fact that he makes the person he's going against look so good, makes them look so devastating, makes them just when you do a move, you're like, holy shit, I almost took his head off. You know, that builds his stock even more because people want to go against him because of how good he's going to make them look.
Yep. Absolutely. Star quality. Once again, another one of those guys, star quality written all over him. NXT right now at this moment, I feel like has the most potential stars at one time than I've seen them have since its inception. Of course, we've got a
And
lot
they
of guys that.
still, I was going to say, and they still got some more coming up that are supposed to be huge names.
And being that he's with the Forgotten Sons right now, working the stable, we don't get to see a lot of them. But we haven't even really seen the full, spectrum of Gunner yet in NXT. So that's
Yeah,
one guy we haven't
yeah,
seen. You haven't got to see all of what Keith Lee can do yet.
yep.
So like you said, it's a lot of guys there. They're like man, they got some in the chamber right now. So a lot of people are worried about the main roster and what it's going to be like in the future. I'm not worried because I look at NXT and say, man, look at so much potential that they have. Look at
It was crazy. Was crazy is that the people we know about, we know how we've heard the internet buzz about Keith Lee, Dijak. We've heard the internet buzz about Shane Strickland. We heard the internet buzz about all these people. But then you have somebody, I don't know if you've seen him, this guy named Mansoor. This guy comes up and you're like, who the hell is this guy? And then all of a sudden he just starts doing amazing stuff. You're like, what the hell? They got people that you don't even know about that are not like people that everybody's been talking about on the internet that are coming up and they're just like amazing. So you're like, shoot, I know that this guy's good. I'm waiting on this guy. I'm waiting on Punishment Martinez. I'm waiting on Shane Strickland. I'm waiting on Trevor Lee. And then they bringing out other people who
I was
are,
wondering when you were going to bring that one in there because I was like, you and I both,
oh,
you and I both
you
know
know,
Trevor Lee. We've
you
met
know
and
we
chopped
bringing
it
that
up.
one in.
We've chopped it up with Trevor Lee and seen him locally so many
Yeah,
times. We were there. I think we were there the night that he announced that he had gotten signed to WWE. I think
yeah,
because I
yeah.
remember he did that at a local show. I think it was a CWF show that he did that at
Yep,
when he announced that he signed
yeah.
to
But
WWE. Yeah, former
yeah,
X Division champ. A lot of people saw him in TNA, but because he was in TNA, that also means a lot of people didn't see him. So a lot
very
of people,
true.
a lot of people are going to be. He's going to be great. He's going to be great.
Yeah.
Another one of those homegrown talents here from the North Carolina indie system, just like Scott Dawson. So I mean, we're putting them out there. No Way Jose, product of the indie wrestling scene here. So I mean, we got
Yep.
a lot of people that come from North Carolina that are making a name for themselves. R-Truth, I mean, the names was the Hardys. The names don't stop. Braun Strowman, you know, we
Yep.
we put
We putting them out there.
we
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 putting them
put them
out there.
out there. All right. But let me go ahead. I know I will get off task and we'll talk about all these topics all night.
Hell yeah.
Shayna Baszler in an amazing match defeated
Uh,
Io Shirai via submission. Watching that match, Io Shirai is definitely going to end up being the NXT Women's Champion. There's no doubt in my mind that she's going to have this strap. I thought that a lot of the people that Shayna Baszler fought before had potential, but when I look at Io Shirai, I'm like, yeah, you can't have her in NXT for too long and not put the strap on her.
yeah. I believe, they want to, but Shayna Baszler is just too fucking. She's just so fucking good at what she does.
She's
I
an
mean,
old school heel.
she is one of the best heels in the company, not NXT, in the company. I fucking love her,
And
male or female.
Yeah, that's
She
exactly
is,
what I was gonna say. Male or female,
yeah,
one of the best heels.
male or female. She is so raw. She is such a badass, and then like she's just beating the shit out of people. And if you watch her, just the way she's walking around, like this ain't nothing. And like she'll kick you or whatever, she'll do this, and she just walking around like none of this shit is nothing. I could do this all day. Like she's such an amazing bad girl, and I mean she's like she could have been on the main roster a long time ago, but they need her because they don't have another woman to take her place yet. But she's so fucking good. She's just like I'm like every time I've seen her, I'm like this girl is so raw. It's just she's got it all. She's such a badass. Every time you see her, you're like, man, she's gonna whip somebody's ass. But like she could walk out there to a guy and be like, oh shit, she gonna whip his ass. I was like, you better back the fuck down because she's not playing.
Absolutely.
But yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree 100%. And then the last match of the night, of course, the main event. This is a match that, just like his matches with Ciampa, all the matches I see Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano in have been great. Adam Cole came out to Josiah Williams rapping his cover of the Undisputed Era theme song. That was a mark out moment. That was a mark out moment. When I watched it, I felt like that was me.
Yeah. Yeah, I marked that on that too.
I marked that on that moment just because I've watched so many of his videos of him rapping over it, WWE superstars theme music. And it got him a
so
job.
many of them to y'all. Yeah.
It got him a job in WWE. Just him bullshitting around and saying, look, let me rap over this Undisputed Era beat. Got him a job in WWE.
Not only got him a job, this dude just came out to the main event of NXT.
NXT TakeOver 25. 25. So that
he
means
rapped it.
It's too much. It's too much. It's
yeah.
Like, I got it. You couldn't tell me anything. That's all I can say. You couldn't tell me nothing. Like right now, you could not tell me nothing. I don't know how many days later it is right now. You still couldn't tell me shit today.
Like he didn't come out. No disrespect to anybody. He didn't come out to the first match, the second match, to the third match. He didn't come out to the pre-show. He came out with, which is the next champ, but he came out in the main event and walked out there with the champ, doing his rap. I was like, man, this is amazing. It was so cool to see him. And like I said, I remember I was looking at his stuff on Instagram, and I'm sending y'all stuff like, oh, look at this. Oh, listen to this one. Oh, listen to this one. And then, like, when he came out there, I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you really? This dude is on NXT. I'm like, that is amazing. He following his dreams. Look what he's doing now. And that's only the beginning.
So there's so much stuff about NXT that I love, and I'm just gonna go on a couple of things before we jump into Super Showdown, because I know everybody's anxious to talk about Super Showdown. But it's so much just little things that I appreciate about NXT. First of all, Morrow is freaking genius at the commentator.
Dude,
they messed up.
He
on SmackDown by JBL fucking.
No, they did not. They did not. Because Morrow is better at an NXT show it's better for him to call NXT than for him to call the main roster stuff. It is so much more. It's so much better because his style fits NXT more than it fits SmackDown. You know, the calling of the moves, the naming, the scientific name of the move. He reminds me. He's like Mike Tenay, the professor that knows all the names of the move and all this stuff, and Joey Styles. He's like a mixture of both of them.
And he
He's
knows
got
culture.
the
He's up to
yeah,
date
yeah,
on pop culture today, which is something that
yeah,
most people in WWE are not up on. Like he'll hit you with a
yeah,
lyric. He said something on some NXT show, and he said he's gonna slap the head out of his voice like J. Cole, and I said, "Holy shit!" He just quoted a J.
yeah,
Cole
yeah.
line. J. Cole also
He
from North
he'll say a
Carolina.
Jacob.
Also from
He'll
North
say
Carolina. That's
Tupac.
what type of talent we have here.
But yeah, like I said, I wasn't mad when Triple H said he was going to bring him to NXT. I was like, that's where he needs to be. I was like, he doesn't fit the main roster type because like I said, it's going to be. It's just it fits NXT. He feels like he's an NXT talent. They're different. They're new. They're younger. They got moves that you never seen before. He's saying stuff you never seen before. He's saying all these phrases. He's referencing all this pop culture. He's telling you the names of the moves. He's telling you where they came from. He's referencing so much stuff. He gets excited. Like it's so amazing to watch the pay-per-view and see a move or see the pin and you see in the background Morrow standing up with his hands like yeah, like he's enjoying calling the matches and you can hear it. I mean, shit, the crowd when something happens amazing, they start saying "Mamma Mia." That's what the darn commentator says. The commentator they got a chant from what the commentator says. That's like, oh my god, that's how over he is, and how great of a commentator he is to just he just he's NXT. He puts the show that's like that added seasoning that makes that shit taste even better. Just his commentating. Like I think legitimately he could be one of the ones who could do the whole show by himself. Like Joey Styles. He doesn't need the other two there. Yeah, they help, but he could do it by himself. And there's pretty much no other commentator that I think that I would like to listen to the show if it was just them. Not Michael Cole, not Tom Phillips, none of the other ones. Would I like to just sit there and listen to just them talk about any one match by itself? But Morrow is just so exciting. You like, man, I could listen to him all day. Me and Lady Great One was sitting there watching the match, and I'm sitting there like dying laughing at something he said. I'm like, what did he just say?
And don't get me wrong, he is a perfect fit for NXT. So in the sense where I say the main roster messed up, it's like this is the type of gem that we lost all because of JBL, who's now he's part time. So he's not even on the
Yeah,
commentary table anymore, and he messed that up for the main roster to be able to have somebody calling matches like that. So that's
but I
but
but yeah, but like I said, I thank him for that because like I liked him doing SmackDown, but it's so much. I mean, he's got so much more to be excited about while he's doing NXT. So it's so better to hear what he says, his phrases, his little segues to stuff, his little pop references, and you just sitting there like, what the heck did he just say? And little rap. I mean, just he's the all around an amazing commentator, one of the best I've ever heard.
and you can tell, like you said, he loves calling the matches, but I think he just likes commentating in general because as great as I
Yeah,
see him on NXT programming, you watch a boxing pay per view and he's just that great calling a boxing
yeah,
match, an actual boxing match. Then you flip
yeah,
over to an MMA match and he's calling MMA and he's just as amazing calling MMA. And like you said, he's
yeah,
scientific with it. Like he's calling every maneuver. He's not just calling it a choke. He's calling it a rear naked choke or the Goga Plata or whatever its actual name is. He's actually using the actual name for it. So I
Yeah,
mean,
he's not just saying a suicide dive. He's calling it the scientific name. It's so fun to hear him talk and to hear his commentating. And like I said, all the stuff I've heard him like doing the boxing MMA. It's just like, wow, this dude is he's special.
this
He's a great talent.
this is this generation's good old Jr. And even
Oh
a lot of people gonna be mad at me
yeah,
when I say this.
go to say it.
A lot of
Go
people
to
about
say
to
it.
be
I
mad at me when I say it. Morrow is
say
better.
it.
He's better than Jr.
Yes, he is.
Morrow might
Yes, he
be
is.
he might be the greatest wrestling commentator that I've ever seen. But he's
Like,
better than
like
good old Jr. He's better than good old
yeah,
Jr. and Jada King Lawler in the '90s combined. That's how
yeah.
good Morrow is. Uh, and I'm just gonna throw that one out there. There's gonna be some old school fans that are gonna hate me for that comment, but Morrow is better than your
Uh,
favorite commentator.
yeah. Like I said, I'm old school too. But yeah, it's just something about him. Like I said, he's got the excitement of Jr., but he's got the actual, like Jr. still made you sometimes feel like he was an old man or he was older with some of the stuff. The some of the stuff he's like he wouldn't get. I mean, it doesn't feel like uh what's his name like some of the stuff Crime Time would do, like it wouldn't get that like Jr. would figure out or understand what they're doing, or Godfather wouldn't feel like he got what they were doing, or RVD, you didn't feel he would get it, but Morrow, you feel like okay, he would get what the little inside thing is about him. He would get what the little reference he's saying, you know. So yeah, like you said, he's probably one of the best I've ever heard. Legit, he's probably the best commentator I've ever heard.
Like I don't think people realize what we have in Morrow. Like Morrow's a gym. Like he's a gym that needs to be protected. If Morrow says he needs more money tomorrow, pay the man. Pay him
Yeah,
whatever he want. If he asks for $2 million, give that man $2 million because he's worth every
yeah.
penny. You know,
Because like I said before, just think of this: when they doing some amazing movie, they start chanting "Mamma Mia." You ain't never heard the crowd start chanting Slobber Knocker," or any of that shit. You ain't never heard them start chanting what the commentator says. A lot of people will say little references to him, but you ain't never heard the crowd chant it. You see, he's gotten it to where he says something, he's got the crowd excited. Like I said, I'm watching the show. I can maybe not even be paying attention or looking down or doing something, but hearing Morrow will get me excited to see, oh shit, what happened? What happened? Get me excited and make me like, oh shit, that shit was hot as hell just from listening to him. He put so much into it that you have to be excited. Like one thing I've always said when JR left, like Michael Cole never felt like he was excited about doing it. He never pulled you into it. JR did do that. He was the Stone Cold Stone. He would get you into it. Oh my God in heaven, he's broken in half. He killed him, blah, blah, blah. He would get you excited. Michael Cole never got me like excited from whatever he said. Like it'd be like, oh, that was an amazing move. But it never felt like he was so excited it got you like, oh my God, I'm so excited because the commentator has gotten me so excited. Adding on to, a little extra, Morrow's added on stuff that makes me even more excited to whatever I just seen.
I don't feel like people really got the grasp of what we're talking about right now. Like, I really think that there's people out there who are so stuck in their nostalgia that they can't possibly fathom the thought of somebody being better than good old JR. But Morrow talks circles around Jim Ross. Jim Ross was exciting, but that's about it. Morrow gives you like you summed it up pretty much. He gives you the best of all of the great commentators rolled into one. You
Yeah,
know, and nobody got us as excited as Jr. But like Morrow's the closest person to get you to that excitement. But he does everything that well. Like there's nothing that Morrow does
yeah,
bad. So that's the one reason why I can say, without a shadow of a doubt in my mind, that he's the greatest when it comes to
And
commentary.
he's so he's so articulate in everything he says. Like everything is perfectly clear. Like you don't hear it mess up. It's like perfectly clear what he says. And like sometimes he's like talking so fast, but he says every single word, and you're like, oh shoot, what did he just say? And sometimes I have to go back and like, what did he just say to hear whatever reference or whatever he said because he'll say something so fast and then start going about something else. But I'm like, oh shoot, no, he did not just say that.
Mm-hmm.
Which get like you said, when he said something about some pop culture thing, you're like, oh shoot, it got you even more into it because he just said something about this rapper, or something that happened in the news, or something that happened over here, or he said what this reference is to. But yeah, like he's the best.
Hell yeah. Facts. Facts on facts on facts. All right, so it's time to jump into our main event, so to speak, topic wise, um, to give our predictions on WWE Super Showdown 2019. Right now, this is scheduled for what, about 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. I will definitely
Yes.
be at work, probably on a conference call doing something during this match, but I'll probably have my phone somewhere on my person just so I can go back and reference and try to catch some clips of this. Um, and this is, I believe, the second Saudi Arabia event that they have. I think the first one was, if I'm not mistaken, Crown Jewel. We can go back and fact check that one in a little bit, but I think the first Saudi Arabia event was Crown Jewel. This is the second annual event. Right now, 10 matches have been announced. So we're going to run down the list and give our predictions here. Even on the matches that we probably don't particularly care about. We're going to give you some predictions and some insight on that anyway. So first, to start the show off, the pre-show um, puts the Usos versus the Revival, a match that should be for a tag team title, but whatever. Is on the pre-show. Who do you got in this one? Do you think the Usos come away with it, or the Revival are going to get one of the biggest wins of their main roster career?
Uh, I think the revival is gonna pull this one off. Um, so I don't know because they've already beat them one time, right, on Raw. Um, but I'm gonna still go with the revival. I want the revival to win. So they when they come back, they can keep this feud going. Um, so I got a call for the revival. Top guys all the way.
All right, so I'm gonna go for the Revival as well in this one. It's just something that's about it's something about this match that makes me think we're going to see this feud continue on after we saw him take a break from this feud for the last couple of weeks. I don't think this is the last match um, at all, but yeah, personally, I think the Revival's taking this one too. Jumping right into the main card, we'll start from, I'll say some of the matches I'm least looking forward to. We'll start with. Basically all of the non-title matches. So we'll start with Triple H versus Randy Orton. A lot of people are interested in this feud. We've seen this match 1,000 times. Personally, I think last time it was Triple H versus John Cena in Saudi Arabia. Or not, it wasn't in Saudi Arabia. It was Triple H and John Cena at another event. But I think that Triple H lost that one. I want to say Triple H lost his last uh, special match, barring the one with Batista at Mania. So right now, I think Triple H is due for a loss. So I'm going to go Randy Orton in this one.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's gonna be Orton. One thing because it really, I mean, even it really doesn't benefit Triple H to win. Um, for no other reason it doesn't benefit him. He's not going to come back next week and continue to fight. So um, I just it's going to be good to see them two fight again. Hopefully, we get to see some glimpses of the old Randy Orton. There's a lot. He's just gotten really stale for a long time. Um, but yeah, I think Randy Orton is gonna win this one.
Yeah, Randy Orton's taking this one. Next match on the card. You might have a little bit more favoritism towards this match than I have, just because I know how big of a fan you are of one guy. Particularly in this match, this is probably your favorite wrestler of all time. Um, and also the Undertaker's in this match too. Goldberg. Goldberg is making a one night only return versus the Undertaker in a singles match here. And I play around with Mr. VIP like that. Everybody who knows Mr. VIP in real life knows that he's a huge Undertaker fan. I'm just ribbing him a little bit with this one. I think because Goldberg is such a specialty right now, and because the Undertaker is really just doing a lot to put over people when he comes back, I'm thinking that Goldberg is going to walk away with the W with this one. I think he was very highly sought after by Saudi Arabia, and they're not going to waste this moment on a loss.
I think I see your point. I think just because both of them are really highly sought after. I don't think Undertaker's gonna lose just because even if it's just reputation for what is the WWF guy versus the WCW guy. The dream match that we're probably only gonna see one time. I just feel that they'll have Undertaker win just because it's that one match. I think he's gonna, I think he's gonna spear him and jackhammer him. Undertaker's gonna sit up and then tombstone him. He may or choke slam him first. He'll probably kick out and shake his head or whatever. I think it'll be a pretty good, oh my God, getting to see these two finally fight and getting to see both of them impervious to pain or whatever. But I feel Undertaker's gonna still win this one.
So you're going for Undertaker. So we finally split on one here. So you're picking the Undertaker. I'm
Yes,
going
yeah,
Goldberg.
yeah. But again, I don't care what everybody says. I still want to see it. I don't care if it's 20 years later. These are two people I've always wanted to see fight. My favorite against the WCW, the one of the best that WCW have. And if we don't ever get to see, Undertaker and Sting, this is one of the other dream matches I always wanted to see. So just to see them finally hook up, I don't care if it's, they're older, they can't do as much. Just to see it for a little bit of it, a glimpse of what we could have seen, I'm still going to be excited to see it. That, as you say, now the nostalgia comes up. That fanboy in me is like, oh my God, I don't care what you say. This is still Undertaker Goldberg. This is still amazing.
Yeah,
So,
it's like I'm conflicted because I loved both of them coming up, but it's like now as a 32-year-old wrestling fan, which I'm probably the age that they were when they were in their prime, and now with them both being in their 50s, it's like, ugh, I don't know how great of a match we're going to get out of this. I think this match is just really star power alone, which is nothing. It's nothing
like
wrong with that. It's perfectly fine.
Yeah,
But
it's not gonna be one of their greatest matches. It's not gonna be a 5-star. It's not gonna be hold for hold, all this stuff. No, but it'll be fun. And like I said, all the nostalgia, all the old fans who grew up on them. I don't care what they say. You can say all this shit. Like everybody can be like, "Oh, they too old folks. They too old folks." But when Undertaker came out there and stood face to face to Goldberg, that fucking kid came out of you. It's like, oh shit. I don't give a fuck how much you said they too old. When you saw them standing toe to toe, that fan came out of you, and you're like, oh my God, oh my God. It's just to see them go face to face. So it's not going to be the most amazing match, but just to see those two in the ring together, it's still like a magical moment. That no matter how old, it's just fun, and it brings you back to your childhood, and it brings you back to seeing them like they used to be one last time.
Awesome. So next match on the card here, Bobby Lashley, Braun Strowman. There's a lot of people who are looking at this match and saying that they're not interested in this one. This is actually one that surprisingly I'm very interested in. I think you made the comment in the Game Runners earlier this week that they had, even though it was an arm wrestling match, and a lot of people don't like to watch arm wrestling matches because, oh my God, I just want to see 5-star matches every single match. Don't do anything entertaining. God forbid you try any comedy. Just stick to the wrestling. Like, everybody wants everything to be so boring, but you know, this is one of the most realistic looking arm wrestling matches that I had ever seen on WWE programming. That was the comment that you made.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you know what? That was very true. That was probably the
Yeah.
most competitive arm wrestling match that I've ever seen on WWE programming. Now, granted, you know,
It's-
there's nothing special about arm wrestling matches, but it made it interesting because it made you, for the first time, look and think, like, oh shit, Bobby Lashley might be up there in the same power range with Braun Strowman just a little bit. Maybe not in the world's strongest man sense, but just in the physical strength. And the physicality. He might be up there with him.
That showed a little more like, oh shit, he is, really strong. Like you said, a lot of people, I think a lot of times people don't like the arm wrestling contest because of the arm wrestling contest that we've usually seen. But I mean, I was just like, holy shit. I mean, the little charisma that Bobby Lashley was showing before. I mean, when he smacked him, when all that stuff, I was like, oh shit, okay. And then when they actually locked up, I'm like, oh shit, it looked like they were really going at it. I mean, even if he would have let him win or whatever, it at least looked legit. You know, everybody remembers the arm wrestling contest when it was Triple H and Scott Steiner, and when he started, going down, and Triple H like doing all the struggling, I'm like, real life, he's not going to struggle that much. He may look bigger, but he's not that much stronger that he's going to just make him look like he ain't shit. Mm-hmm. So it was really good to see both of them, like, they're really going at it, like they're really arm wrestling. They're going back and forth. He's getting the upper hand. He's getting the upper hand. And it looked legit. So that got me like before, when they first started doing it, I was like, I was really like, I don't really care about this shit. But when I started watching them, they started doing it. I was like, oh shit, oh shoot, okay. It got me excited because I'm like, well, maybe they really are going at it. And then, when he won, and then the stuff that happened after it, but the actual arm wrestling made you get into it. And then the storyline that continued after it, I was like more invested into it. Now, granted, I did want to see these two wrestle. I have wanted to see these two. I legit was like, that's one of the people, like Braun is so big, it feels like a lot of people don't fit realistically, like they could do anything to him. But Lashley is one of the people who legit feels like he could do something to him. He's strong as hell. He's athletic as hell. He's big as hell. So it feels like, okay, this guy could really be a threat. And and both of them would mesh up great together. So yeah, I'm really excited to see this match.
All right. So I never gave the prediction on this one, I don't think. I'm going to go with Bobby Lashley is going to come out victorious in this one for some reason. I got a feeling that they're going to let Bobby Lashley get this win. I think this is another one that they'll probably continue this feud on shortly. I don't think it's going to be a long-lived feud, but I think they're going to bring this feud back to the States for a little while between these two. But Bobby Lashley, I think he's taking it in Saudi Arabia tomorrow.
Of course, Braun Strowman is one of my favorites, but I'm going to have to agree with you. I think they're going to do it just to keep the storyline going. Mm-hmm. I mean, and one thing, it also, you have to build Lashley as a more of a threat because, he's really hasn't been built as like, okay, he's unstoppable. He's, really a beast. And if he beats Braun Strowman, I think that'll help for people to realize, okay, this dude, this dude is raw. This dude is big. He is, a badass. So I think that will really help his character, his building. If you want to build him up, If they're not going to do nothing with him, if you would have Strowman lose. Strowman can lose, and he's still not gonna look like he's weak. But I think Bobby needs to win this one to build his stock, to have people like, okay, because legitimately, my ultimate goal is to see him rise up to the title, or to fucking rise up to be a legitimate threat for Brock. And he has to show that he can go against Braun for them to finally go in and have that other dream match of mine. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Lashley.
All right, facts on facts on facts. Next match on the card, another singles match: Roman Reigns versus Shane McMahon. Now, you know me. You know I hate Shane McMahon with a passion right now, and I hate the fact that at every pay-per-view and every event that he's wrestling. But
Yeah.
can I speak honestly for a second? Can I speak honestly for a moment?
Preach, preacher.
Shane has made this feud entertaining.
Oh.
Shane has made this feud entertaining just because of just the fact of him mocking Roman Reigns, and doing the spear and the whole eye after it is making me think, ooh, this is not going to be pretty. But Shane, you wrote me in a little bit with this one. The entertainment factor is there, and I kind of want to see you spear Roman one time, even though you're going to get your ass beat. I know Roman Reigns is going to whoop your ass, but it made it entertaining to the point where I'm like, all right, Shane McMahon might get a little funny spot in this match. For me.
Yeah.
For me personally.
Can I speak and to be frank?
Yes.
I can't stand this fucking shit. I hate this fucking match so damn bad. Oh my god. I love Shane back in the day, but every time Shane comes out, I'm like, oh god, here we go with this shit again. I mean, this is too much. This is way too much. Every Monday and Tuesday, he comes out every day. I'm just like, come on. You have Roman fighting Shane McMahon. No, I hate it. Every time he comes out, I hate everything he does. Everybody that comes help him jump somebody, I hate that. Everything Shane has been doing, I can't stand it. I'm just so I want to turn the channel because I was like, dude, I'm so tired of seeing you come out. I'm so tired of the best, everything you do, the best in the world crap. Every single part of this storyline, I can't stand it. I'm waiting for him to just spear him and go to somebody else finally. I just want Shane to be off of TV for a while. Legitimately, I'm just like, please spear the shit out of him so they say he's hurt and then take him off of TV for a while. Mm-hmm. I just don't want to see him out again.
Yeah, every match that he has is like, all right, you know what? Hopefully this is the last one and we won't have to hear this anymore. And then here he comes next month feuding with somebody else.
Like I said, I loved Shane back in the day, and I loved him when they were using him sparingly. But just to have him keep having matches, I mean, come on. He had all these matches and he had all this match and all this build up with Miz. And then go straight from there to coming out every single fucking show, SmackDown and Raw. Every week, he's coming out on both shows and basically doing the exact same thing he did on Raw. They're just doing it on SmackDown. Every single day, I'm like, come on. You were just on Raw. You were just on SmackDown. Stop doing the same thing. It's just, that's one part I'm like, okay, this is getting boring. I can't stand it. I'm tired of seeing you come out. It's the whole. It's so funny that they use the wild card thing, and I was like, you use the wild card on the people who were already on the show. So Roman Reigns used the wild card to be on the show that he just left last week. We did the draft or whatever. We did the draft shakeup, whatever you want to call it, and then Roman Reigns get put to SmackDown. Next week he's back on Raw. Well, now we got a wild card. Well, next week he's back on Raw again. Still got a wild card. Next week he's back on Raw again. The same people they kept switching back and forth for the same people. How is the same people using the wild card rule? None of the extra people. It's just the same people. Shane just goes to both shows and throws out the rules whenever they do the 24/7 thing. And I'm like, it's getting overboard with Shane. Just he needs to take a break for a while and let them build on 100 of the other people that they have. Nakamura, I don't even remember if he's still there. Rusev, there's so many other people who are not even fighting or in a storyline or even been out, and he's coming out on both shows. Buddy Buddy Murphy, Aleister Black, um, Cedric Alexander, EC3, all of them are not even on the show or just in the 24/7 thing. And Shane is coming out every single night and having matches at the pay-per-view. I'm just hoping Roman Reigns beats the hell out of him. He spears him. He says he's hurt, and he stays gone for a while.
Facts on facts on facts. All right, did I knock out all of the regular season single matches there? I think so. So all we got is the handicap match and the title matches left. So Lars Sullivan versus the Lucha House Party. From a booking standpoint, I understand they're trying to push Lars to beat his monster, which is why I feel like he's going to destroy the Lucha House Party. That's really all I got to say with this one. I'm going with Lars Sullivan on this one.
Yeah, he's gonna beat the hell out of him. They might show a little bit of flair, but they're gonna beat him.
Yeah, he's gonna beat the hell out of all of them. All right,
Yeah.
title matches. Intercontinental Championship match. Champion Finn Balor defends the title against Andrade. I'm gonna tell you, I want to see Andrade win this match, but
Oh, dude.
I want to see Andrade win
God.
this match. But I'm not going to make that comment yet, just because I don't want to ruin my predictions for the rest of the matches. But I don't see Finn Balor dropping the title in Saudi Arabia, so I'm going to say Finn Balor wins this one.
Yeah, I want Andrade to win. I'm gonna say Andrade, even though I know he won't, because Finn Balor's coming out of this demon, so we already know he's gonna win. But I want Andrade to win because I love Andrade. But yeah, realistically, I already know Finn Balor's gonna win. But I still want to see the match. I still think it's gonna be an amazing match and probably one of the best matches of the show.
Facts. All right, next match on the show. I'm gonna go for the Universal title first here. Seth Rollins defends the Universal Championship against Baron Corbin. I still don't consider Baron Corbin a serious threat for the Universal title as of yet. Even though he's done a lot more impressive things in the ring lately, he's shown off a little more. He's definitely fluid with his movement. So I'm definitely gonna, say that he possibly could be a future champion, maybe a future mid-card champion, or even down the line, maybe Universal. But at this time, I don't think that he's ready for that type of gig yet. So Seth Rollins is going over in this one to me.
Yeah, basically everything you said is true too. The only way I see Baron winning is Baron wins and then Brock comes out and cashes it in on him.
If he does, that's still
and everybody's like,
one-time
yeah, but that's the only thing I see. If Baron wins, everybody's gonna be like, oh, they're gonna be all pissed, and then Brock gonna come out and take the title back from him. I think it's gonna be a better match than what people think, because Baron fights better with smaller guys. They can do like high flying stuff. If he fights a smaller guy, his matches are better. So I think it's gonna be a good match. I think it would be a surprise if he beat him, but I believe Seth is gonna win. But I'm thinking that there's something with Brock that there's because he's constantly said that he's focusing on Seth, and they're building that he's continuously focusing on Seth, and I'm wondering if they're gonna throw a swerve and say like, yeah, he's constantly going for him, and then try to come out and cash it out on Kofi.
That's a swerve with no curves there. Okay, I like it. I
Yeah.
like it. I like it. Next match on the card. Last one, Kofi versus Dolph. Um, I'm gonna say this. This match is either gonna be really, really good, or it's gonna be really, really bad. I don't think there's an in between for that. I think it's gonna be a really, really good match, or it's really, really gonna be bad. The reason why I have a slight fear that this could be really bad is because you have two guys in this match who are primarily known for selling for other people. Kofi sells for other people. Dolph Ziggler sells for other people. And while they both are very athletic and have an array of moves, you don't really see either one of them dominate a match offensively. So it's like
Well, you
eh,
you gotta remember how many classic matches those two have had against each other.
they have. They've had a lot of great classic matches. And if this turns out to be the back and forth that it can be, it's going to be an amazing match. But
Yeah.
there is that very small window where this could be a terrible match too, just because I don't know how fluid the offense is going to be. I think you're going to see a couple of counters, and I think it might switch over to being like an old school match. Um, and I don't think that the luster might not be there for it. Plus, I don't know how invested both of these guys are in this one match. So that's another reason why I could see that it might not be that great. And then the last thing would be, like you just mentioned in the previous match, with Brock talking about Seth so much, this could be a moment where we see Brock in Kofi Mania.
Yeah. Uh, I think I think it's going to be an amazing match. I don't think I don't see Kofi's not going to lose it. Like I said, I said the thing about Brock. Um, and I'm just thinking that because they constantly keep saying he's going for Seth, but I don't know. I don't think they're going to want to take it from Kofi right now. Kofi's doing well. Kofi's doing big things. I mean, they showing all the stuff from him going to Ghana and everything. And I just think he's doing so well as the champion right now. They're not going to want to take it from him. I think they would rather. I mean, they could take it from Seth and it wouldn't hurt him. But I think Kofi's just doing so good with it right now. Um, I completely won't see Delph winning it. This was, I think this whole feud was made just to get a match at the pay per view. So they was like, we ain't got nobody else. Put Dolph in there. He can put on a great match with him. Um, you know, that's what I see it as. Just to get Kofi there and to have a good match. Somebody that they know can deliver a good match with Kofi. Uh, but I think Kofi's winning it. Um, and this is going to continue on. So I just see more. I see there's so much more, and I think the storyline is going to continue on because something's going to happen with New Day. Something's going to happen with Xavier, or something's going to happen with Biggie when he comes back. And I think that's what they're building towards. One of the two things happening. Um, so I think he's gonna keep it for a little while. And like I said, right now he's the biggest thing on SmackDown. So I think he's gonna keep it and continue on this great run that he's having.
Hopefully so, man. I don't want to see Brock be the one to end Kofi's reign. Honestly, I think that Kofi is still in need of a huge title defense win to solidify his main event status. Because I feel like right now, if you take the title off of Kofi Kingston right now, I think that's pretty much a done deal. Like, I don't see him winning it anymore in the future. If you want to establish Kofi Kingston as a top face in the company, he needs a really huge heel to go over
Well,
on.
I think right now, like let's see, that's one thing I don't think SmackDown has it. They did Kevin Owens, that's a big one. He did Daniel Bryan, that's a big one. But other than that, I mean, they really don't have no huge heel
Mm-hmm.
now, unless what I've been wanting them to do, unless they build it up in Andrade, or if they turn Finn Balor bad, or they bring Aleister Black back as a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
One of them two, if one of them two turns bad, that could be an amazing feud, and that could be something for both of them to build on.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think because right now, Kofi doesn't have anybody. You know, I, I, I mean, unless again, uh, unless they turn, which is probably never going to happen right now, unless they turn Roman bad, there's no other big time person for him to fight. Not to be legit, Kevin Owens was probably the best, you know, big guy, ass whooping guy that they could have gotten. And now that he's beaten him, there's really nobody else bad enough on SmackDown
Yeah, but
for him to fight.
it was such a quick banger that it was like you couldn't even get the full heel Kevin Owens by the time the match came around. It was like it was a slow build of him pretending to be a face all the way up until the end until he gets his title opportunity. And then on top of that, I just don't like him doing the stunner. I know that really doesn't have anything with him to do with him being a heel, but
I just
go back
his
to
other finisher was so much better.
the pop up powerbomb is so much more fitting. Go back to your move.
Yeah,
And the thing about it, he made the pop up powerbomb look different when he came back because now he sits down with it, and it makes it look
yeah,
even rawer. And I'm like, you're using this as a signature move, and you made your move look better, and you're finishing people
yeah,
with stunners. With
yeah. I
stunners.
do want him to go back to that. Is is Kevin Owens going to this show? Ain't he one of the ones that's not going?
Yeah, I don't think that he's going to this show.
Okay, I think that's probably why, because I think they would have kept. I think he would have been the person that would have fought him again. But I think since he wasn't going, it looked like they had to hurry up and throw somebody else in there with him. And so they were like, all right, well, Dolph is going. We'll hurry up and throw him in there and build something really quickly. So I think that's why it kind of feels like it was abrupt. Because this ain't one of the normal pay per views. This is like a special event pay per view. So it just feels like they were going with this. And you see it because they're still, he still fought Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn on SmackDown. So it still feels like that was the main way they were going. But since he's not going to this pay per view, we'll put Dolph in there, and they'll probably start back with Kofi, or probably Kofi and Kevin Owens, and then probably Sami Zayn and Xavier. All four of them will probably continue this feud on. Um, I think that's how they're going to go with it. But I think this is just a filler because he wasn't going to go to Saudi Arabia.
Okay, I can get with that. I can get with that. Well, those are our predictions, guys and listeners out there. So if you guys want to be available to catch Super Showdown tomorrow, keep us in mind. We'll come back next week and see exactly who came out with the most predictions, even though for the majority of the part we picked the same people most of the whole card.
Yeah.
But that'll segue us and jump us right into our final thought. If you want to go first, you can definitely go first, Mr. VIP. If not, I already have one in mind.
Oh shoot! Well, I have to come up with something. Well, I guess I didn't get to see uh, what y'all said on the AEW. Um, but right now AEW is a big thing going. Um, like you said, the whole Dean Ambrose stuff, and that's the new kid on the block or whatever. And everybody's of course jumping on the bandwagon and everything. Um, and I'm just like, I want to see, when they start having weekly shows, that's when we want to see how good they are. The single pay per views, that's easy to do. Just throw a bunch of people together and have some matches. But when they start going week to week and having to have storylines for everybody each week, That's when we're gonna really get to see how good their show is or whatever. But I'm hoping that this, is a new era. We start to get to see some more competition, and we get to see, some more, more people leaving WWE to go to AEW. People from AEW coming to WWE, um, to spice it up some, and I just hope when they do their thing that they do their thing. I was listening to an Eric Bischoff thing, and one of they had a Q&A, and they asked him what was his advice for them, and he said, I don't know what their whole what their game plan is. One thing is to get advertising and all that stuff, and that's going to be hard to do with a startup company and all that stuff. But he was like, the one advice that he has is to be different, and the way they look like they're trying to do everything is that's how they're going to try to do. He said, try to be different. Don't try to be better than your competition. Try to be different because you're not going to beat them trying to be better because they're going to, they have a lineage. They have, $1 billion company that's got all of these other assets, and they've been ingrained into, pop culture and everything for years. So try to be an alternative that is different. Like what TNA was when they first started. They were focused more on the X division, which started getting people really excited. And now we see a lot of how, especially like NXT, how their wrestling was like what TNA used to be. But when they failed, is when they tried to start going head to head with WWE. When they started to try to go on Monday nights, when they started to focus on their main event stars, when they started to focus on the ex WWE stars, that's when they started going down. If AEW just stays, I'm gonna do what we do differently. So it's an alternative. So when you see them, you was like, well, I ain't never seen that on WWE. I ain't never seen that before. I've never seen that before. And that'll hook people than trying to outdo them. So I just can't wait to this fall. Can't wait to see the weekly episodes and see what stars are made.
Damn
And
straight.
that's my final thought.
Damn straight. Damn straight. Where you were teetering on the edge of my final thought with those comments, but you didn't quite jump into it. So my final thought was definitely going to be more so towards John Moxley more than anything else. Um, Dean Ambrose is quickly making himself probably one of the biggest stars in wrestling since his departure from WWE. Just from the way that he entered AEW at the end of the event to the absolutely blazing interviews and podcasts that he's done since then, to another major accomplishment that he actually captured this week in the ring. So not only has he signed with AEW full time and has he cut these great promos, but John Moxley has now added a New Japan title into his ranks as well. He beat Juice Robinson, formerly known in NXT as CJ Parker, for the IGWP United States Championship title that they just created back in 2017. They've had 5 champions in the history. Now these 5 are some hellified 5. Now Juice Robinson, Kenny Omega, Jay White, Cody Rhodes, and now John Moxley. So he's in great company there. So congrats to John Moxley, out here living his best wrestling life right now. Kudos to you. And like you said, I can't wait to see what the weekly shows are going to be like in AEW because of this. I think he single-handedly made me really, really excited about AEW. He's not the only thing to be excited about, but he's definitely made a huge. He brought a lot of buzz to it by himself, and that's my final thought of the night. Um, It'll be another Marking Out Amongst Friends episode. It's been a great show. Just me and Mr. VIP rocking it out old school on y'all. We'll come back next time, next Thursday, same bat channel. Don't forget to change your bat underwear. Um, but before we get out of here, you know what we're going to do. All right. Mr. VIP, what we about to do?
Hit the damn music.
You You damn right. We gonna hit my damn music when it comes on. There we go.
He looks like a fan. He was marking out, man.
450 off the top with the topics. Leader of the new school, ain't no way to stop us. Mark it out, screaming loud, tell me who you with. Competition is none, cause we lunatics. Walk with me down these roads if you're all in. I love the feeling, baby, time to go to work again. Come together like a fist and we do it proud. Light it up and burn it down, cause we marking out.